In this video, we'll take a look at the Navisworks user interface. The learning content: understanding the Navisworks interface. For the user face of Navisworks, we will start at the top of our screen, working our way down, and then look at the basic controls for navigating the 3D model. In the very top left hand corner, we have access to our main menu. In here we have features such as starting a new project, opening existing projects, saving and save as, exporting out of Navisworks, printing. We also have access to the most recent accessed projects, which can be pinned into place should you want it to permanently be part of the list. We also have an options button, and we have an exit Navisworks button, which will fully take you out of the application and back to your desktop. Just to the right of the main menu, we have the quick access toolbar. Again, we're going to see some of the same tools that exist in the main menu and additional tools. For example, we can see the new and open button, but we also have access to the undo and redo button. You can right click on any of these in the quick access toolbar and you can remove them should you wish to free up some space. Likewise, we can also add additional tools from the ribbon bar into the quick access toolbar so that they're permanently on screen, accessible for when you need them. If you move your mouse cursor over any tool, a tooltip should appear. Next to the name of the command in the tooltip, if there is a keyboard shortcut, that will be present inside the brackets. Some tools will simply display a bit of text, some might have an image, and some may have a short video animation demonstrating how to use the tool. Moving towards the right hand side of the screen, again still at the very top, we have our help section. In here we have a search box where we can type in a keyword, which will access the online help page, displaying results based on the keyword you've entered. We also have a search button that looks like a pair of binoculars, and this will open up the help page. We can also access our Autodesk account. We can sign in and sign out of our Autodesk account as required. This is common practice using subscription licenses. We can also access the Autodesk App Store. We can install add-ins and plugins for Navisworks. On the Autodesk App Store, we can access apps developed by Autodesk or by third parties. Some of these apps will be free, and some of them you may have to pay for. Below that, we have our main ribbon bar. This is divided up into tabs. Inside these tabs, our buttons are grouped with headers such as Project, Select and Search, Visibility. In these groups we can find the specific tools. Sometimes there's more tools than what's displayed on the ribbon bar, and you will find these little black triangles next to the headers. Clicking on the header will expand and show additional tools. Sometimes the tools themselves have multiple options, and again, looking for the little black triangles, if you click on those, you may get additional options. Just after the very last tab, we have this little button here, this minimize button. Clicking on that will minimize the ribbon bar. There's several different levels to the minimization, and repeatedly clicking the button will cycle through them and will eventually return you back to your original layout. There are many tools that we can access within Navisworks, and many of these will add themselves as additional windows inside Navisworks. We can see around the outside of the screen down the left hand side, across the bottom and up the right hand side we have these additional tabs. Moving your mouse cursor over any of these tabs will cause it to pop out. If you want a window to remain expanded, we can click the little drawing pin icon to pin that open. There's also a little X to permanently close that particular window. These windows can be moved about Navisworks by left clicking and holding down on the title where it says selection tree in this case. I can drag the window out. This becomes its own independent window and can be moved outside Navisworks. However, whilst moving it around, you will see that these docking points become visible on screen. For example, if I go to the docking point on the right hand side and move my mouse cursor over it, we get this blue preview pane appear. Should I let go, Navisworks will dock the particular window there. If I undock a second window and pin that open, should I choose the same docking point as the selection tree, you'll see that I can also choose now whether to play this below, above, to the right or left of the selection tree. For this example, I might choose below. To navigate your model, in your main view, in the top right hand corner, we have a view cube. Clicking on any face, edge or corner will reorientate the 3D view. If you're looking at a face, you can also rotate the project by 90 degrees. And should you find yourself lost, you can click the home button to restore back to your default viewing location. Moving your mouse cursor over the model, if you scroll the mouse wheel, you can zoom in and zoom out of the model. When you zoom, Navisworks will move this pivot point that appears over the element face or point that you're zooming in and out from. Navisworks will remember that pivot point. When you rotate your project, the project will rotate about the pivot point. To rotate, simply hold down the Shift button on your keyboard, hold down the mouse wheel, and by moving your mouse, you can rotate the view. To change the rotation point, simply zoom in to a new point, moving that pivot location, and you can now rotate about the new point. Also on the right hand side below the view cube we have our main navigation tools. Clicking this hand icon, I go into pan mode. I can left click and hold down and I can pan the view. We have our zoom controls, which there are multiple options for. For example, using the zoom window, I can use the left mouse button to drag a box and Revit will zoom in to the extent of the window that you draw. Below that we have our orbit tool for rotating. And again, by left clicking and holding down, we can rotate the view using the left mouse button. We can also look around from our location. Again, holding down the left mouse button, we can look around the model from our current point. And below that we have a couple of navigation tools. We have walk, fly and third person. For example, if I select walk, I can use the left mouse button to hold down, and by moving the mouse cursor up I can start to go forwards. By moving the mouse cursor down I can go backwards. If I move to the left, we can look to the left. If I move to the right, I can look to the right. Once you're in walk mode, if you expand the tool, we now have these additional options. By turning on gravity and starting to walk, gravity will now kick in. I can look up and look down by scrolling the mouse wheel. Using the walk tool, I can now navigate around the project by walking around. Collisions will stop you from being able to walk through walls, floors and other elements. By disabling collision, I can now walk through solid elements inside the project. And to restore our mouse cursor back to its default settings, we can click the select tool at the bottom.